All right, howdy ho, neighborinos. We are here today for the next week of the PAC, that PAC, and we are going up against Owen, aka OGalbina, and I believe it's the Carolina Roaring Moons, something like that. Anywho's, Garchomp, free, Tera, Volcarona, good old Jugs is back, Slowbro, Klefki, by the way, hate ya, Rotomo, FARIGIRAF, Colorado, Toxicroak, and Pineco. So, looking at this matchup, I've never actually been more scared of a giraffe in my life. Open Tera on said giraffe, plus the option to have either Sap Sipper or Armor Tail is actually kind of fucking scary. Like, Breloom has a pretty good matchup. However, that's a whole ass giraffe, which can be Armor Tail and stop the Mach Punch, stop the priority moves. Or it can be Sap Sipper and stop the grass moves, stop my Spore, my Bullet Seeds, all my fun stuff that I was trying to do, So, we gotta watch out for that. Like a Trick Room, Nasty Plot, or just Weakness Policy set could be fucking horrifying. An Agility set could be crazy. Sap Sipper, if he wants to be Sap Sipper, it could be like a physical kind of set. It gets good coverage. I'm scared, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. I just gotta try to chip that thing down and hope that the one we play in the game is like the one that we played in the mocks and will be walled by our Surreal Edge, which we'll get into in a little while. But that's also I'm scared of a few things. Definitely the giraffe. Definitely Volcarona. Hey, spoiler alert: the Open Tera sweepers are scary. Wow, great breakdown, Sheldon. Everyone needed to know that information. So we got Iron Grundle, the Iron Bundle this week, who can be modest, which is pretty nice. U-turn, freeze dry, hydro pump, and agility. Just in case, we want to do some sweeping of our own, or we get a free turn, or we need to, we get thunder waved, and we need to get that speed back up. We can do that. We got options. It's just pretty free here, man. Look, not a lot of pump / freeze dry switch ins. He does have a dry skin Toxicroak, but I imagine that probably doesn't want to take... Look, I haven't calced, okay? I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I have not calced. But I would imagine that probably doesn't want to take 2 Ice Beams, 2 Freeze Dries, whatever. We'll see. Maybe Assault Vest. I don't know. Still scary. Then we have Florges. And Florges is pretty cool because we are Trick, Baton Pass, Moonblast, and Wish with the lagging tail. So basically, no matter what happens, I gotta trick either the FARIGIRAF or the Volcarona, whichever one I think looks like it's going to sweep me better, whichever one, like, worse. I don't know, would you say worse or better there? I don't know. It's fucking, they both kind of make sense, and they both also don't kind of make sense, But, I think I need to save it for Volcarona, just because Volcarona is one of those Pokemon that if it just gets +1, sometimes it just wins the whole game. And it's also going to depend on what its Tera type is. I'm not bringing the cat, so we don't have any fake outs. My only real priority is going to be Shadow Sneak or Mach Punch. So if it's something that isn't, that doesn't care about either of those, then we're kind of fucked. So we'll see. But we're going to try to trick some a lagging tail, see how it goes, and we'll hope for the best. Next, we got Chris. Shout out Doomshroom. The Lumberry Breloom, Spore, Bullet Seed, Mach Punch, and Close Combat. Close Combat, just punching stuff is pretty solid this game. I can put stuff to sleep, but I would imagine there's either going to be a defensive Rotom-Mow or something with Goggles I don't want to come in. Maybe like Goggles Klefki could fuck me up. So if we can get some info on that, maybe I can just click Close Combat and hopefully punch it a few times. Hopefully it's not Screens and T-Wave, which would be pretty annoying, but we do have some options for that if that's what it is. Like we're talking about, speaking of set options, we got Infiltrator Noivern with Heavy Duty Boots, Defog, Flamethrower, Dragon Pulse, and U-Turn. This is one of our Open Tera users. We are Tera Fire on here, just in case we do need to just infiltrate the fuck out of those keys, hit it with the hardest fire attack possible, and keep them off the field so Volcarona doesn't ruin my fucking day. That would be a super cool thing to happen. And then, yeah, just kind of a fast pivot. His speed tiers are a little on the wonky side, so if I just keep Bundle or Noivern alive, we should be able to do some fun stuff in the late game. Then we have Bernadette, the star of the show, dude. You know it. Swords Dance, Bitter Blade, Terra Blast, and Shadow Sneak with the Terra Dark. That means we're able to eat an Earthquake from Garchomp or whatever. We are Weak Armor, so we can get a potential Weak Armor boost as well. That means we don't care about Iron Jugs. It means we don't care about fucking Giraffe. it's pretty cool, man. It's potentially pretty cool. And then last but not least, we do have Gleamymore, the Glamora, Stealth Rock, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, and Dazzling Gleam. Just pretty good coverage to hit most things, and we can kind of just click buttons. With the air balloon, that means Garchomp isn't gonna just bonk the heck out of us. I believe the giraffe also gets Earthquake. So, I mean, obviously Psychic Move is gonna still ruin my entire day. But, yeah, at least we don't die immediately, I guess, you know? But, this is a tough matchup because while he does only have 9 Pokemon and one of them is a Pineco, so, like, is that, like, what do you guys think, like 8.4 Pokemon, 8.3, something like that, you know? The ones that are for sure coming look terrifying. Like Garchomp, Volcarona, the Giraffe, and Rotom all look like solid options. I think Klefki has to come too. Just the hazard support and the T-Wave support is so good for him. It's so annoying for me. I'm really hoping it does not come, but we'll see. And by the way, it's my job to inform you. We've went over the 5-minute mark. What am I doing, dude? But this is a post-battle team builder, so obviously, no spoily boys. Those were my thoughts going into the game. Those were my hopes for what we were going to be doing in the game, and my fears for what he was going to do to us, you know? So, that'll do it. I'll see you in the battle. Alright, and here we are with the battle versus Owen. We get connected with him real quick. This is going to be sped up 2 times, I believe, so should be a pretty reasonably timed battle. But we can see he brings Volcarona, Iron Jugs, a Rotom, Garchomp, FARIGIRAF, just, I mean, what a giraffe, dude. And Toxicroak, it makes sense. Toxicroak's one of those Pokemon that I feel like kind of just isn't a Pokemon sometimes, in like half the matchups, but it does have a role here. Vacuum Wave could be pretty nice. Bundle Spadef is negligible, and then you know, maybe being a water immunity mon could be like AV or something, or maybe it's just setup. Who knows? But the giraffe also, like we talked about, is surprisingly scary. Garchomp, we'll have to see if it's going to be defensive or maybe like a sweeping set. Maybe we got Scarf. I don't know. But Rotom, we need to scout. I mean, obviously, look, dude, we need to scout everything. But I am just going to lead with Noivern. He does lead Rotom. So he'll immediately see we're not Frisk. He'll know that I was very scared of Klefki, and I can't believe it didn't come. This is going to be my sacrifice. Like, paralyze me, fuck it. You know, I got Bundle too. But Noivern ends up being pretty expendable all of a sudden, so that's pretty cool for me. I'm going to just click Flamethrower, not fucking around with anything. The Giraffe does come in. Great, from one threat to another. We see that, obviously, that's going to be Scarf Rotom. Bundle is now looking not as great of an in-game cleaner as we thought. Turns out he's got a Water Immune Mon and a Scarf Electric type. Things are going great. But I do just pulse this Giraffe. I fought, I think, almost this exact same Giraffe in a mock, so I kind of like, once I started clicking buttons, I was like, wait a minute, I think I know what this is. If it's like Stored Power Wish, yeah, I think I literally fought that exact set. So basically that means I think this is set up for, like, if I go dark, if I go dark mode, bro, if I go private browser, I can kind of just get a free SD here. Since I'm no longer a fire type, I'll live any hit from Garchomp. I'm a pretty thick boy, even though I believe we are not so invested this game. But just naturally, dude, if you've seen this channel, you know Surreal Edge always got a little bulk to him. But yeah, I can just SD on the Chomp that comes in. It makes me assume this is going to be a more defensive Chomp. So maybe I'll outspeed him. Turns out I do outspeed him. +2 Tera Blast does a heckin' chonk. But we outspeed him because he goes for the Dragon Tail. We do get phased out. He sees that we're weak armor. Well, there goes that, you know. But we get the dude. Santa brought us luck apparently, and Iron Bundle gets our fucking Ice type gets dragged out against the Garchomp, which is pretty nice. It doesn't really have a switch in. I guess if you don't want Toxicroak to take 2 potential Ice Beams, you probably don't switch it in there. So maybe it's not AV. Maybe it's more setup, or maybe just 4 attacks. I don't know. But I am scared. Because now he gets to go into Rotom. I don't have any hazards up. This thing's taking no chip. I have no ground type on my team. And it's a Rotom, so their other move always hits the ground type, you know? So, like I said, Noivern's pretty freaking expendable. I know Breloom deals with it as well, but if I let it take too much chip early game, I'm not going to be able to have it around, because I'm definitely going to need it to punch stuff, you know? He does his Volt again. There's nothing I can do to stop. He's just going. I need to get rocks up, and I need to do something, man. I'm just kind of switching around here. But Jugs comes out, and like I said, I can't fucking, you know, whatever. So we do get a crit, which was very nice. We're getting a little lucky, I'll say. We got dragged right out in the Bundle, which was ideal. And then we do get a crit, putting Jugs at half, which is nice. It's also still very funny to me to say it. You know Jugs, you know? Whether Rotom comes out. So, dude, I'll try again to sack this. I'll fucking, you know... I've been trying to just let go of my you know? I've been trying to let the Rick and Morty fan base die out of me, and finally Noivern goes down, and Rotom gets, once again, another free Volt Switch. But at least we get momentum this time, so we'll see what he wants to go into, and that'll completely determine what my decision is going to be. Why do I feel like I was rapping there for a second? Completely influenced my decision, what I was going to... I don't know, that was dumb. But, dude, I was thinking, this is ×2, and this is still a long time. That took a hot minute. Oh, I wasn't thinking, he was. Cool. He does go Toxicroak. I'm 1 point faster than this. I have Earth Power, and I want to get my Stealth Rocks up. I want to force this thing out. If it is, like, mixed or just physical, I have the Air Balloon, so it can't hit me 4 times effectively. And we'll just have to see what he has, you know? He can pop the balloon if he wants. It's literally just here to get 1 free turn. But the coverage moves it has this game aren't bad, TBH. He has a switch out, which is cool with me, because, like I said, I'm literally just going to fucking... get at my Stealth Rock. So finally, from now on, when this Rotom takes damage, when this Rotom comes in, it will take damage. 12% of the time, I can try to whittle it down to get into Mach Punch range, because it's looking a little scary. Either Mach Punch range or Shadow Sneak range might be necessary on this Rotom, so at least it's going to be taking 12. If it's going to be coming in all willy-nilly, at least take your 12, bro. You know? So, we're going to Glimmora, who is shiny, and looks kind of cool. So Jugs is going to come out, we see its boots, and it's going to die. That's nice. So, I don't know how much Sludge Wave did, but the crit probably mattered. You know how it goes, dude. Volcarona's scary, man. I don't know if he wants to tear a Giraffe or this, but I can't fuck around with the threat. I simply cannot fuck around with the threat. I gotta go hard Florges. Another shiny that doesn't look too bad. He's going to Tera, and this is one of those Pokemon that whenever this Teras, I fucking have no idea what it could be. Volcarona is one of those Pokemon that can be almost any Tera and work, depending on the matchup, you know? So he does crit me with the Earth Power, with the, you know, Terra Blast Earth, which is just fucking Earth Power. Because he literally has the Earth. You telling me the Earth isn't powering him? It's on his head, dude. He's wearing a hat made of Earth. He's got the power, alright? But I'm going to trick him that Lagging Tail. Threat secured. Let's fucking go. Done. Got him. I do a dumb play. I should just be clicking Moonblast, I think, because he just gets to fucking boost on me more if I, you know, if I don't do anything. But he's also lagging. He's been tricked. You know, the trick's been tricked. The trickster has done the tricking, you know. So Florges can die now. I go for a Wish because I'm like, maybe I can pass this. And then I realize how strong Volcarona is, and I think it's now at +2. So I was like, I guess, nope, we don't do that. We'll just we'll just get our Moonblast chip, and we'll go into this guy. And since we will now be faster, shout out to that tail. Look, Breloom's got a tail too. And I'm not saying it's lagging, but it is. He's got one back there that doesn't look like it's super convenient for him to have. That's all I'm saying. So, just Bullet Seed. I for some reason think about close combating when that's never, ever, ever the play. But we do know the Giraffe could always be in the back, and the Giraffe could either be Armor Tail or be Sap Sipper, like we talked about. So I don't know. Half of me wanted to go just close combat, just so on the off chance he was going to be Sap Sipper. But, you know, not the play. Glad I did the right thing. Go past me. I hope I win, dude. You know what? I'll come out here and say it. I'm on my side now. I was real impartial coming into this battle, just trying to give a commentary. I think I'm rooting for me now. Good job. Rotom's going to come out. We are Lumberry. I assume he thinks we're Focus Sash. Could really, I think, be the only reason he wants to do that. But, if he's like Scarf Wisp, I am Lum for just such a scenario. So that'd be cool with me. If he wants to trick me, I'm clicking Close Combat. I don't give a fuck. I'm punching stuff, dude. Breloom's here to punch. That's it. Punch and also have a tail. He's just going to Volt. 12% more is perfectly okay with me. Take it. We do take a little bit of chip, though. That's probably all the chip we can take on Breloom without it being a problem later in the game. But 2 close combats will kill this. And it does make sense to switch that in, considering each of one of its 2 abilities are good for this Breloom. So it was probably here to take advantage of the Breloom and set up and do all that wacky fun stuff, you know? Croak's going to come out. I know I absolutely need to keep Breloom around. That's kind of the win con, I think, for me at this point, is going to be trying to put stuff in range of Mach Punch. So, switch out here. We'll go hard Glimmora. He has a quick fighting move here. You can't fuck around with the threat. I could have Bulldoze. You don't know. But we do take that. That's fine. So it gets a little tough here. I'm thinking about clicking Dazzling Gleam to get guaranteed damage on either of the two mons that could happen here, but he does switch out and does go into the Rotom, makes the good play, calls me out on attack, calls me out on the button click, levitates, and can now pivot out again. I know Glimmora needs to be able to live that hit from Toxicroak, which it just barely can right now. So depending on what he has, of course. So I'm gonna switch out into Bundle. I realize Bundle it dies to boosting out on Vacuum Wave. Not keeping that around, no reason, and then it also dies a Scarf, Grass, or Electric move. So I figured Bundle, while it's weird to sack your first round pick in the late game. You know what I mean? It's funny to be like, oh, that thing I paid a bunch of points for? Nah, I don't need him. But the Croak does come back out, so now I can go back into Glimmora, but that does risk another 50-50. So my plan here is, I start thinking to myself, I said, self, what if your old friend can save the day? And you might be thinking, but Sheldon, you're Terra'd into a Dark type against a fighting type that you speed tie with. Why in the ever freaking fuck would you do that? But I start thinking, if he is a setup set, he probably doesn't have a fighting move to hit me. He probably has Vacuum Wave tops, and I live that. Surreal Edge has good natural bulk. I live that. So I'm thinking, if he has Sludge Bomb, he probably has to have Dark Pulse to be able to hit this at all, and then like Nasty Plot or something. So I think I can just click the button. And if I can't click the button here, it will force me to win some 50-50s, and that's so funny that happened. It will force me to win some 50-50s, but we do just get the kill with the Bitter Blade, which is amazing. And Rotom comes out. I'm in range of Leaf Storm, but I'm not in range of Thunderbolt, so he can kill me here if he wants, but I'm still gonna win. You know, because now I still have Breloom in the back, so I can live no matter what. And I'm Lumberry, so even if he was to get a full para, I would live, and it would be fine. And then I had the option to turn that off, and I did not, and it happened again. That's so funny. But we do win the game, which is super cool. Very fun for me. GG's to Owen. It was a good fight. Stay tuned. Alright, so, bonus track. We won, and that's a pretty cool thing to have happened. It was looking a little wonky there for a second, but I don't know if I've ever loved a Pokemon quite as much as I love Surreal Edge, dude. That thing is so fucking good. Oh my god. Wins games on its own. You know what I mean? Just wins games on its own. You love to see it. I'm glad I already loved it and like made it like, you know, a part of my life in my Discord profile picture before I started drafting it all the time. Cuz now I love it even like I already loved it like aesthetically. But now it's so good in the game, and it's such a good Pokemon for me to have, because you can just click the button, dude. You can just get real bitter with your blade, and everything's fine. It's fucking awesome. But, anywho, I think that means that I have to win our next game, and if we win our next game, we do it again. We sneak into playoffs. We fucking casually just eke past people, and I believe if I win more than 1-0? I believe if I win more than 1-0, we beat the next person by 1 diff, and we guaranteed make playoffs. I think other than that, it would come down to like strength of schedule and all that shit. But not bad, considering I did take a forfeit loss and I've been doing poorly. The fact that I could still make playoffs is hilarious to me. I guess that's just, I said this in the UPA video, but I guess that's just what I do, man. I guess I just do just bad enough to get 8th place, and then fucking try your hardest to win versus like the first seed, you know? So, that's always fun. We'll go for that. That'll just be my thing. I'll just creep in right below the average line, and then just, you know, turn up the heat in playoffs and get fucking, get Red Bull and vodkas going again. That's always fun. That's like my secret weapon, dude. That's like Popeye, you know, eats spinach. Popeye eats vegetables, and I just fucking mix energy drinks and alcohol when they say on the thing not to fucking mix with alcohol, and you're like, I'm gonna do it anyway. That's why, dude. They don't want you to big energy. They don't want you to win draft league games. They know the power they've created. They're like, don't, whatever you do, don't revitalize your body and mind, and then also get silly at the same time. The world can't handle it. Anyways, that's 2.5 minutes of fucking nothing. Enjoy that. But I went to a comedy show this weekend. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the podcast called Bad Friends. It's Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. Very funny show. They did a live show, and the live show was Santino, Bobby Lee, and like the third member, I guess, is this lady, Juicy Jetski Johnson, Jobskin. They all did like 20 minutes of stand up, right? 20, pretty nice. And then they did like a little over an hour of like a live show. And I went to another comedy show recently, and the person I went with did not like the material of the comedian, and and the person we saw the first time was one of my favorite people. It was so funny, just getting to be in the same room as someone you've watched on TV or on podcasts and shit. I was like, this is it, dude. We're winning. So this time, so that went poorly, right? I could probably tell that story completely another time, but it went poorly, which made it funnier to me, which sucks. Because, you want everybody to have a nice time, but then also a little consolation prize, seeing people get offended right in real time, not like on the internet, like your parents used to have to see people get offended. That shit's funny. I don't give a fuck. But this time we went, and I kept finding myself wondering, like, would she have liked this show better? Is this like a more reasonable, like it was less like political, there was just more like silly stuff. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bobby Lee. He was on Mad TV, he does this show, he does another podcast. He's in all kinds of movies and TV shows now. But he's a really funny guy. It's really like, he doesn't like have any like stand-up specials. There's no Netflix special, no Amazon, no HBO, nothing. It's you'll see a clip occasionally on YouTube, but it's hard to see what he's about in the stand-up world. You kind of just see like podcast stuff. So I was really curious to see him, because you always hear about, because he's been around for a while. Dude's like fucking, 160 years old or something. He's like fucking Yoda, basically. But his like closing bit used to be that he would just show the entire audience his dick. That's not even a joke. It's pretty funny. But I'm saying, I'm not making a joke. That used to be his like closing bit, is to show a little peen. Now, obviously, in today's climate, I don't know if you can exactly do that. You know what I mean? Probably not the best as far as getting canceled and stuff, which I think people are coming after him on TikTok anyways. But I heard he wasn't doing that anymore. I heard he literally got banned from certain clubs. People were like, dude, you can't be showing dick. And then other people were like, that's the best part. It's fucking hilarious. That's so funny. That's like classic locker room humor, I don't know if y'all did sports, did PE, did all that kind of stuff, but there was always the one show your dick kid. There was always that one kid, and even if you were like, oh, dude, what the fuck? Later you'd be like, okay, that is pretty funny, he did show his dick. But anyways, I'm here to report, it was a great show. It was fucking hilarious. I slapped my leg laughing my ass off multiple times. But he didn't show his dick, which did leave me feeling a little bit disappointed. However, he may not have shown dick, but he did, as a little teaser, he showed full bush. He stopped at the root, but he showed full bush. And then several times throughout the night, he turned around, pulled down his pants, and showed his entire ass. Which, look, it's no dick, but that's still a very funny thing to see on stage, And then there was like audience participation kind of stuff. Like people were coming up on the stage, they were doing like trivia, they did like a dating game, they did some fun stuff like that, they did bits. And if you lost the trivia game, you had to suck Bobby's tongue, which is odd, but also hilarious. And they all signed waivers and shit, so it wasn't a surprise. They knew what they were getting into. But one guy won, and he was such a big fan. He was like, how about I get to suck your tongue? And dude, he fucking, the first couple times it happened, the people were like, they're kind of being cute about it. They were like, are we gonna? This dude walked up and fucking just took it right in the mouth, which is so funny. You need that energy sometimes. That's the same energy of dick showing, But then once you've been real shy and bashful about sucking tongues, then someone comes right up and sucks the fuck out of that tongue, then the only other place to go is up, So one of the other guys asked if he could see Bobby's butthole, and obviously the crowd went wild. Everyone had a good laugh, thinking, Well, he's already shown his ass and his bush. So he probably won't show a butthole, but that's hilarious for it to have, been suggested. That motherfucker pulled down his pants, spread them real wide, and showed his little fucking chocolate Cheerio right in that dude's face. He started laughing. The whole crowd starts laughing. We start losing our shit. And then, once not to be outdone by his own asshole, he pulls his pants to like a reasonable, that walk where you can kind of keep your pants down at your knees, but your knees are open enough to where the pants are walkable, They're not huddled around your ankles. You can kind of still walk a little. Bobby did that. He pulled them around his knees and then proceeded to, what I can only describe as, give this dude an impromptu lap dance with his entire fucking beehole just out and about. Whole beehole out. Lap dance. That dude got his fucking money's worth. I tell you what. That was I think all the shows are sold out, but if you ever get a chance to go see them live, fucking do it, because it is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And I might have just said all that stuff, and you'd be like, why the fuck would I ever want to see that? Which, look, fair. But if you're a fan of somebody and they're wacky, sometimes you want to see their butthole. I don't know. It's fun, It's a fun joke. But there was one part that was fucked up, but also hilarious. That's how my brain works, dude. You see, you take a person to a show, and they're having a bad time, they're getting offended. That's funny to me. You see some fucked up shit, it's funny. It just is. Get over it. It's a joke. So, the show happened Saturday. Saturday the 6th. And if Saturday, May 6th means anything to you, it's probably because you watched the news and you saw there was a school shooting in Allen, Texas. If I'm not mistaken, roughly 3 or 4 hours before this fucking show started. Like, it was in the news while we were, like, driving to the show. You know what I mean? Like, no one listens to the radio because we're not fucking boomers, but if we were to turn on the radio, I guarantee you it would be like, standing with the families and whatever. There's always that. Every radio station and every TV show has to do that. Get everyone out. We're gonna stand there and put our hands over our hearts and that's just classic America shit. I guess that's what we do. But that happened, and these touring comedians, not even comedians necessarily, but these touring people, whether it be bands, comedians, acts, dancers, whatever the fuck you got going on, they're on the tour bus all day. They're driving. They fucking fly all day, or they drive around. They're in transit pretty much all day. And I would imagine, especially like, I believe they have a bus. The show we saw, it's bus. They're doing bus style. So they leave, let's say they leave Houston on Friday. They come to Dallas on Saturday. That's a long fucking drive. They probably slept the whole time. Got here and you gotta go do sound check and all that stuff. So what I'm getting at is, I don't think they saw the news. In fact, I know for a fact they did not see the news, because one guy got up on stage and he was dressed in a lot of black. He had a lot of he looked like the guy from 13 Reasons Why. You know the guy. That one from the bathroom scene? Yeah, that's the guy. Kind of looked like him. Kind of had that kind of vibe. So he gets up on stage, and obviously, they're making fun of everybody. He gets up on stage, and then they go like, oh, be careful with this guy. Ask him where he worked. They're like, I don't remember what he said, but he was like, at Haverty's. And they're like, all right, everybody at Haverty's better be fucking nice to this guy, because he'll obviously shoot up the place. And then, one of the other guys is made machine gun noises, pretending to shoot at the crowd. Which, look, is a funny joke. But 3 to 4 hours after fucking 3 to 4 hours after a fucking shooting in Texas, in the state where you're playing, that's unfortunate. I still laugh. Dude, nothing can you. It's really hard to offend me, honestly. I'm probably not the best person to be delivering this, because it's coming from a point of I don't really care that much. That's fucking whatever, But it's, what's funny about it to me is they did all that, and there wasn't even just one joke. They said that, and then there was a couple more references to various styles of shooting people like that. over the course of the night. But what I think is funny is there was definitely a moment where they get done with the show, they go back to the green room, they're unwinding, maybe they have a drink. I think Bobby Lee's sober, he probably didn't have a drink, but you know, you calm down, you fucking pull out your phone, you turn on the TV, your work is done for the day, you finally get to relax. After a long day of making jokes about shooting up schools and churches and shit. And I just know they flipped on the TV and saw breaking news fucking 3 hours ago. Blah, 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 shoots, blah, blah, you know. There's no way they didn't see that headline and go, oh, fuck. You know, like, there's no way they didn't see that scrolling, like on news stations, there's that scrolling bar at the bottom that's like, and this, and this, and this, and this happened, and this, and this. There's no way they didn't get to that and then go, fuck. You know? Like, there's no... So, just to recap, people dying isn't funny. None of that's funny. 13 Reasons Why it wasn't a comedy. But, god damn it, the fact that they definitely had that moment when they got back to their bus or their green room is so funny to me. Because you know that they were like... You know? But anyways, that's going to do it for me. This was fucking 10 minutes longer than I thought it was going to be. So like and subscribe and do all that bullshit. I'll see you guys next week. We take on Goldoa in a must-win battle if we want to even have hopes of playoffs. So, see you then. Peace.